were fired.
That's extreme.
And the events of that night led to the...
Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while here, guys. If you're stopping on the very first time, you're most welcome. So today I'm going to be reacting to Heroes Among Us. Guys, let's dive right into this one already.
Hi, I'm Mitch Maki, president of Go for Broke National Education Center. We tell the story of the Japanese American soldiers of World War II, of their courage, patriotism, and sacrifice as they upheld America's promise. The promise that in our nation, no one is to be judged by the color of their skin, the nation of their origin, or the God whom they choose to worship. As we all know, our nation is currently struggling with a crisis of conscience. Despite the promise of America, not all individuals in our nation have been embraced by the American value of equality. In recognition and support of the Black community, Go for Broke National Education Center will be sharing stories of Black American soldiers, of their courage, of their patriotism, and of their sacrifice. They upheld America's promise, and in doing so, provide us today with a moral sense of direction. During World War II, Black American servicemen stationed in England were generally welcomed by their British hosts in ways that were completely opposite of the Jim Crow segregationist practices back in America. Black GIs would drink and socialize in mixed company in British pubs, where they were not only allowed to enter, but were warmly welcomed by the locals. Black soldiers saw around them a very different reality from that which they faced at home, a non-segregated society where they were welcomed as fellow fighters against fascism rather than second-class soldiers. The U.S. Army authorities, however, did not condone this equal treatment. 1943, the 1511th Quartermaster Truck Regiment, a segregated Black unit, was stationed outside the town of Bamber Bridge. U.S. military authorities demanded that the town's pubs impose racial restrictions. The 3 village pubs responded with signs that read, "Black troops only." On the evening of June 24th, Black troops and white locals were enjoying themselves at the Old Hob Inn. At closing time, white military police arrived and tried to arrest Private Eugene Nunn, a Black American soldier, for not wearing the proper uniform. But they were faced with white British soldiers, both male and female, who sided with Nunn and his fellow soldiers. The incident escalated into a fistfight, and the military police were beaten back. Later, the MPs returned with reinforcements, and a battle developed in the street. Shots were fired.
That's extreme.
And Private William Crossland, one of the Black soldiers, died with a bullet in his back. 4 other injuries to Black American soldiers occurred in a 5-hour confrontation, which ended at the Adams Hall Army Camp. The events of that night led to the death of 1 Black soldier, significant injuries to several others, and the convictions of 27 Black American soldiers, which would later be commuted or overturned.
It's crazy because these are not just civilians. They are soldiers. They are people who have given themselves, offered themselves to defend the country. So these people are not just normal people. Like, they are not the right person to treat this way. Like, oh my God.
The events in Bamber Bridge highlighted the vexing paradox of race relations and prejudice at the time. Despite the open-armed welcome from British citizens, the U.S. Army uniform provided no protection from the racist attitudes embodied by the U.S. Army authorities. After their service, black soldiers returned stateside with little tolerance for the pervasive and prejudiced Jim Crow laws. But they soon discovered once again that their service provided no protection from the discrimination and racial violence that still permeated America. The harsh reality was that some black veterans were to be lynched, a harrowing image of suppression and racial intolerance.
Why?
The struggle for equality and social justice continues on today. We at Go for Broke National Education Center honor these black American soldiers of World War II who served and sacrificed for our nation, and we continue our commitment to ensuring America's promise.
I really don't know what this is, but all I know is that racism is an ugly-faced man. Racism is so ugly. Racism is so dirty. Racism is so mindless, and it doesn't even have a reason. It's not beautiful at all. It just ends up in destruction, and that's the best that can come out of racism. Nothing good, nothing. That was a sad story. I mean, looking at the demography of people it was done to, I mean, looking at the kind of people that was done to at the heat of a war where these guys have literally laid down their lives. I mean, they don't deserve anything less. They don't deserve anything less. It's just so crazy. But I mean, what can I say? I don't want to be vexed at all. I don't want to be vexed. I just wish that everybody enjoy love while we are still here. Just learn to love one another, and I mean, what is life? Thank you guys for sitting up to this time. Let me get your comments on the comment section. And until next time, do not forget to hit on the subscribe. And bye-bye.